What's up everyone, SedlockN'Load 93. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the Romanian Tokarev. So yesterday I did a video on my Yugoslavian Tokarev. And yesterday I said I was going to be doing a video on disassembly and reassembly and talk a little bit about the Romanian. So I brought the Yugo out here in comparison, to compare the two. So right off the bat, you notice that the pistol grip is a little shorter on the Romanian Tokarev. The reason is, I don't know. Maybe it was better, maybe they got smaller hands in Romania. Maybe this was just strictly, it has the lanyard loop here, so maybe this is for an officer, or that's just how they want it. So, I like the Yugo because it's a full grip, since I got pretty, big hands. Fits pretty nice. Not saying that the Romanian doesn't fit nice, I haven't shot this at the range yet, but I expect the same results as the Yugo, but I kind of like it. This is what I keep in my vehicle. Reason is it's a little smaller, pistol grip wise, and it still feels nice in the hand. I have to have my pinky underneath the mag just because it's kind of cramped right here. So yeah, and you'll notice that the safety on this is over here instead of up here. So and again, these weren't designed for the safety right here. I don't know if they had safeties at all from the original Tokarev. I'm not quite sure. I bet they did, but not in the same configuration as it is here. So the safety on the Yugo works great. It works the way it's supposed to. Romanian, on the other hand, complete garbage. So if you're going to be getting not saying that this gun or any of these are bad to own, I would buy them either for a collection or just to carry. They're great guns to carry. Not a huge caliber. It's comfortable shooting. I like it. So, and if you're not a 45 person or anything bigger than a 9, the 7.62 would be perfect for you. It's not a heavy recoil caliber or that cartridge. It's pretty comfortable. So, and I got this one also on Classic Firearms. So, I'm not gonna post the link there because I think YouTube's policy is not to do that. So, even though I'm not a big channel, I still don't want to risk it. So, look in Classic Firearms and you'll probably find them if they're not sold out already, because these do go by fast within 2 weeks. That's why I scooped this one up. I got this one first because I wanted the Yugo, but they ran out, so copped this, and this came back, scooped this up. So, and you notice that it does not have the lanyard loop right here. So, we're gonna go ahead and move the Yugo out of the way. So, before anything, you make sure that you check to see if the gun is safe, not loaded, and all that. So, but before anything, if you do decide to go with the Romanian, if you're the type of person that likes to keep their a round in the chamber and have it on safe, I would suggest not to do that with this. The main reason why, okay, so which one's safety? Okay, so this is ready to fire, and up here is safe, right? So all the way up, right? Bam. This does absolutely nothing. And the reason why these had to be put in is because of the import wall that we have here in the States. So this serves no purpose whatsoever. So if you do get one and you don't like this right here and it bothers you, what I'll do, I take this off. When I disassemble this, I'll show you how to do it. Take it off. I would cut it. See if I can get some light. Right here. Let me get the thing. I would cut it like right here. Cut this piece of metal off and try to file it down. because it serves no purpose on there whatsoever. So it's just a piece of metal that's, you know, in the way. So, all right. So gun's completely disassembled or checked for any ammunition in there. I'm not going to take apart the mag just because I did on my previous video. But that being said, actually, so the Yugo mag holds 8, and was it 2, 4, 6 or 7 in the Romanian. So you can see the size difference. But what's cool is you could put the Yugo in the Romanian. And it sticks out, but hey, it locks and it's good to go. But you cannot, oops, you cannot put the Romanian mag in the Yugo because it is too short. It won't lock. So, kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and put that over there. All right, so, and another thing is, that's noticeable, is the mag release. Smaller button, kind of, I don't want to say tough, but it's not raised like the Yugo. So, I mean, it's not going to be as efficient, I would say. I'm not going to say easier, but I'm going to say efficient. That probably would be a proper term. It's a little smaller. Same thing, problem with the last video. I don't know how to take that out. So, as I said, I'm going to fumble around with this guy and do a follow-up video. Let's see what else is different. Okay, ejector pin. And I do believe this pin right here holds in the firing pin. I do believe. Take a little further look at that when we take this apart. And also, oh, and I did look up the serial number. There's a, mainly in those countries they have like a, you know, I don't know if we do the same, older guns, use leathers to date. So let's say A would be from 40, whatever, the 40, you know, 9, and B, C, D, E, and F, whatever. So I looked up the letter C right here, and that is 1960. So does fall in the curio and relics. This one, on the other hand, shows right here, 1953. So pretty nice. And it's not a gloss finish. This is a matte finish, which is, you know, I have no problem with. You know, it does look nice. I will say I am very satisfied with both of these firearms. I haven't shot this one, but as I said, I expect the same results. It's going to be great. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this guy apart. So, the other video with that one, taking the guy rod spring out here, you don't have to push this plunger in because it was like a contained unit. This one, on the other hand, you do have to press in. So what you do, if you have a 1911, then it's going to be the same operation. Press the little bushing or the plunger, rotate it, and you do have to continue pressing down while you're rotating. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Have your thumb. I always have my thumb over it, even though it might not come out. It's not gonna come out. I just still do it for some reason. You could go ahead and rotate it to the 12 o'clock, and then you could lift both up while keeping your thumb on the spring. I'll say that's not really a plunger, but you know what? Spring cap. That's a cap. I don't know if that's the proper name for it, but it looks more like a cap. So we're gonna go with that. They do make, I don't know if these are interchangeable. I really haven't thought about it, just in case you're thinking of it. They might, I don't know, different, it is probably, you know, a decade different, a little bit different styles between the two. So I would assume not, but it might, you know what, might do it on the video after we take this apart and all that. So go ahead and take the spring out, set it aside. Now, with the this little link here, as I said on this one, it could be a little tight. You know, use a little screwdriver. This one's gonna be a little tighter because of the safety. The end of the safety right here kind of rides on here. This rides on here. So that you're gonna need a screwdriver or whatever you're gonna pry it with, and just push it back, ready to go. And let's make sure that doesn't. Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and do like the other video. Press this in, the end piece of the slide catch, and go ahead, pull it out. Set it aside. Go ahead, let's slide this off. Now we have the small little guide rod, just like a GI 1911 or mil spec, whatever you prefer. Set that aside. Let's put the barrel link down, slide it out. Let's put the slide here for now. And here we are. Almost the same, well, pretty much the same as the Romanian or the Yugo. This barrel came in pretty nasty looking because I ordered these actually kind of late. So when these first come out, you could order, when you put in your cart, you could for an extra $20 they'll take 10 pistols and search for the best one out of the 10 cosmetically looking, and it shows, not saying that this is garbage, but it shows that these do sell out quickly, especially when you want the best looking ones. So I just took a Dremel, and with the what is that metal wire brush thing on there, and I just cleaned this up. There's a black mark right here. I think it was sitting, you know, it was stuck in the slide back here for the longest time, like open and dirt and whatever. If whoever, not saying Classic Firearms, but whether the case may be back in Europe, that this was, you know, the slide was all the way back, and it was sitting like this and just collected nastiness right here. You kind of see a faint resemblance or a residue of that. That I can't take off without using an emery cloth. I'm not too worried about it. I got most of it off. Now it's looking pretty sweet. I did not go over this in the other video. I'm kind of surprised I didn't. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a good, clear, and it actually did focus. Wow. Just did. Let's see if I don't have to move it. The grooves in here are actually pretty good. There's still a lot of meat on them, which is great. I love it. There's no pitting to what I can see. If it is, they're minor, very minor. It's not gonna really affect much. Just make sure if you do get the military surplus 7.62 like these were made in Romania in the 1980s. They are corrosive, so every time you shoot it, make sure you clean it. It goes with AK rounds. If they're the surplus, make sure you clean your gun, just because it's corrosive. You don't want that buildup. And if you want, even if you get, they still make the 7.62 by 25. So even if you get, that PPU stuff or cellular and Belliot, I think that's reloadable and non-corrosive. But I always clean my guns right after I shoot them, just so I could clean it. Nothing builds up. But with corrosive, you want to take more care on it. Care with it. Alright, so let's take a look. Yeah, okay, so and now I just noticed this. See if that would focus. See if I could get the focus here. Alright. It's not focusing. Of course not. Why would it? Okay, so on the Yugo, just like the 1911, there's a plate that holds the firing pin spring. You know, contains it. Well, this one doesn't. So I'm guessing this pin does hold in the firing pin. So that I'm not going to even touch. Maybe. I don't know, because that looks like that was hammered in pretty good. I mean, you can see hammer marks. Maybe not on, probably not on here, because camera never likes to focus when I really want it to. Alright, no. Doesn't want to focus. So, oh, is that a spider? What are you doing? Get out of here. Where did they go? Alright, whatever. I got a spider on the loose somewhere. Yeah, so I'm not going to touch on that. Maybe in the future I will when I have nothing to do. There you are. Get out of here. Okay. So, go ahead and put the slide over here. And, just like in the Yugo and the 9mm version, the hammer... Now, see, this one's tight. Not like this where it just falls out. This one is a little tighter. I don't know if it's just mine or if it's all Romanians. So you might need a little pry bar, screwdriver. Yeah, so you don't want to go in there and just mar everything up. You really don't. You just, you apply even pressure and you do it slowly. Take your time. Don't mess anything up. I tell myself that all the time because I get kind of frustrated and impatient. And see, so you put your finger back here and you just pull backwards and it should come right out. And I did deep cleaned both of these guns. So when I took these out, I had them both in the ultrasonic cleaner. Well, not at the same time, but when I received them. I put in the ultrasonic cleaner and let it go in there for about 30 minutes just to get all the crap out of here. And I put a little grease in here and some degreaser spray, that Tri-Zero stuff, the one that evaporates real quickly and it's cold. That stuff just rips everything off, like grease and dirt and grime. It just destroys it. But I'm out of it, so I couldn't use it, so I just stuck that in the ultrasonic and cleaned everything up. If you do like to clean your guns a lot, especially with small parts like this or your barrel, I'd invest a small jewelry sonic cleaner on Amazon for like $30. That's what I have. I think mine's name brand. Yeah, so little self-contained unit. I like that because I could clean everything a hell of a lot better without, like a 1911, you have to take every freaking thing apart. So that you just dunk it in, let it go, and it'll get cleaned. So taking the grips off, it's the same fasten as this. It has the on each one it has a little lever that you move over. So the lever is right here, the long part, and that's the first one you want to take off, and you just move it over. And this one is the tight one, so I gotta try not crack it. You just apply even pressure. Don't just jam it in there. You don't want to tear everything up. You don't want to crack it or whatever. And here we go. So I actually need to clean these grips pretty good, soak them in some, and use like an electric toothbrush, to get up in the grooves and whatnot. And so you can see the different. Here's the nice finish underneath the grips, and here's the nasty part, which honestly I'm not too upset about. It is a surplus gun from the 50s. It looks better than what it could have been. So I like it. It's patina, old Iron Curtain, Cold War era. That's the coolest thing. And I do believe Romania was under the Iron Curtain. Same with Yugoslavia, because it's right near Serbia and Czech and all that, and the Czechoslovakian countries. So I do believe these two countries were under the Iron Curtain. So it's in that area. During that time period, I think it's cool. So you could go ahead and do the same, push the lever up. Now this one's a little smoother than that guy. I don't know why. And you just go ahead and, no, not all the way. I'm a little ahead of myself here. That one you have to go all the way, and then it falls right out. Then go ahead and just set it to the side. Alright, so now we don't have much left to take apart. So, just like the last video, you have your trigger band, and the spring here. So what you do, here's the flat spring. Press down on it, as close to the top as possible. Press it, and then you just push this band down, and then you just do the same with the, oh wait, you can't. See how it won't go down? Well, reason why is the safety's in the way. Blocks the trigger band. So, how do you do that? Well, you go ahead and you take out the link that holds in the slide stop. Right here, just slides right off. And now, before you just push it through, there's a little spring and divot pin that's contained right around here on the inside of the man, why is this all out of focus? That's terrible. I'm sorry, guys. So it's like right in here. So what you do when you're pressing the only way you can remove the safety is this has to be out of the way. So what you do, you try to block that spring and pin from firing out, or just shooting out, into another dimension. You'll never find it. So once you have it secure, magnets, whatever, your hand, like I'm doing right now, go ahead and just press it down, and it's still shot out close to outer space. But now I captured this guy trying to escape here. This little piece of metal. Not as bad as when you're assembling an AR, where you have to put the front divot pin in, where that thing will shoot out into another dimension. Yeah, this little guy right here rides along, and there's a spring inside. So that I never had come out yet. I really don't like how this is not focusing. I have to get another or a better camera. Alright, so there's a little spring in here that applies the tension on the divot pin to slide between these two notches right here. Kind of crudely cut out, but it had to be done. So now with that out of the way, we could go ahead and press down on the flat spring, push the bands towards the bottom of the grip, well, the bottom of the frame, sorry, and you just move it back, and it pops right out just like on the old one, or the other one. And you do the same. You take out the flat spring, if this one wants to come out. There we go. And it is set up the same way. You can only put it in one way so you don't mess it up. Let's see. I'm trying to see, is there a way to take this out? I don't, maybe just screws in, honestly. Maybe, you want to hold on real quick. Let's go ahead and see. Is that a roll pin? Ah, it does look like a roll pin in there. Then I do not know. Ah, maybe you can't take this out. Maybe it is pressed in there. Huh. Well, if so, then I'm not going to be messing with it. So, here we are. 90%, well, 95% taken apart for you. Now you could go ahead and clean it, do whatever you need to do with it. Man, it is hot out here, man. It's like 95 degrees. I'm in my garage, man. This is hot, man. So, let me wipe up my hands because this is getting real bad out here. Alright. Getting sweat everywhere. And now if you do drop some sweat on your gun parts, just make sure you wipe them up because you get all that saltiness on your gun. It's going to turn your gun salty. You don't want your weapon salty. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, once you have this all taken apart, you know, if you have trouble remembering like I do, I mean, you could always, you know, review, because I'm gonna assemble this back on here. Just always label your parts. I mean, this doesn't have too many parts. You know that these are the grips. It can only go in one way. This goes in here, what have you. But if you're taking apart a gun that has a crap ton of parts, just label them. You know, take pictures if you don't want to look on YouTube. If you want to do it, try to learn it yourself. Take pictures, label your parts like on a piece of paper so you can remember. This I remember from my other gun, so I didn't need to do that. So let's go ahead and start with the trigger spring. So let's flip it over. Now, can only go in one way, so you could go ahead, take the little scoop looking part and go ahead and put underneath of the pin that's in the frame. And you don't, as I said in the other video, you don't need to take out the pin. It's kind of, actually you don't see it in here unless they made it flip. Wow, they made that almost non-existent looking. Man, that's real nice. Alright, so pin's right here. And what you do, I don't think I was in the camera view when I was doing it, so I'm going to go ahead and redo it just in case, because I always I don't pay attention. So go ahead and make sure you have the claw looking, scoop looking part, and you just dig underneath there and it will catch. So now it is in, and you're gonna go ahead and have the longer part of the trigger on. That's gonna be the bottom. So what you're gonna do, lay it in just like so, and you're gonna go ahead and just move the trigger through the back of the, or the front of the frame, or the back of the frame to the front, and you're just gonna slide this up until you hear that click, and now you're in. All right, and now the reason why you have to take the safety out is when you press the trigger, see the back of it lodges into here, and that's what this paddle back here was supposed to do. It's supposed to block it from, you know, continuing. Well, they kind of failed at that, so yeah. All right, so now putting the pin in is not impossible. It does get a little tricky because it's small, and if you have big fingers like me, it's hard to do that. So I'm just gonna line this up. So so you want the pointy end facing out. That's gonna be what's gonna be going into the little cut notches that are down here. So what you're gonna do, you loosely set the pin in a little hole. See if I could get that. Wow, there we go. Now it focuses. I'm gonna move real slow so it doesn't go out of focus here. All right, so it's sitting in that little hole that's on top of the spring, right? So then you have this press against the frame so nothing moves. So what you do, you take this link here, right? Well, what you do, and I've noticed this, I'm like, man, that actually, I wonder if that was purposely done like that. So, oh, where'd it go? So, the front piece fits nice and snug to the pin, right? Oh, now he doesn't want to go into focus. That's real nice. So, what you do, you push the pin in with the link, right? And then you press down on the safety. Oh. And if you got shaky hands like mine, it's going to be kind of tricky, and it's very hot out here, and my hands are kind of slippery. All right, so you continue to go forward while pressing down on the safety, and bam. So I'm going to set this down here. So while you're pressing down on the safety against the frame so it doesn't slide everywhere, and that pin is stuck between the safety and the frame so it doesn't move anywhere. You take this, the retaining clip, and while you're pressing down, you continue pushing this. You gotta maybe wiggle it a little bit, not too much, and then it should just fall into place. So while that is secure in there, you go ahead and put the retaining clip back in. So now the safety is gonna be in its place. So let's see. See, now the safety with this taken apart, the safety actually works. So I don't know what's the deal with that, honestly. Yeah, see, now it works. I don't understand that. Well, that doesn't do any good if it doesn't work at all. If it works only one way, then I mean it's pretty much useless, right? So let's go ahead and install the right hand, the right side grip, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move the lever. We're gonna go ahead and push up with it, and with the other one, might need a little force. You might need to lift up that tab just a tad bit to get up in there, and this is not even in place all the way. Let me see here. I'm gonna play around with this. Wait a second. Oh, I'm dumb. I had it upside down. All right. Make sure the flat part is on the bottom. Well, this is why we make these videos, huh? So you don't do the same stupid stuff like I do. Oh, hey, you mess up, you learn, you probably forget and do it all the time like me. Alright, so with that in place correctly, just move this up. Some might be a little tougher than others, some might be loose, so, you know, just go slow with it so you don't, you know, make everything all messy and scratch everything and all that good stuff. Now this one, you could tell where it goes because, you know, it has that little cut right here to accommodate the lanyard loop. Now this one right here again, it's gonna be that long lever with the notch cut out. See, just to show you again, right here. So that's unlock, and we're gonna flip this over because it's a little easier to get to, and you move it to the left to lock it. Now, why doesn't this one want to move? Let's see. There we go. It's just hung up on some. So now it should be on the left-hand side, locked, and we are, yep, good to go. So the next thing is to install the hammer assembly, hammer group, hammer unit, whatever you prefer. And you're gonna have to kind of seesaw it in there. Try to line up with this cutout right here that this notch fits into this cutout. Kind of seesaw it back. You might need to play around with it a little bit. If you have a like a small little rubber hammer, I don't have mine in here actually. Yeah, somewhere else. Like a little weighted hammer with rubber ends that they won't mar anything up or, you know, mess up your gun. You could tack it in a little bit. You know, it won't hurt it. Just don't, you know, smack and beat the living hell out of it. You know, just little taps just to move it back. I'm just gonna tap it on the wood here. See if I could get that back. And no. So you gotta play around with it. Try to get it located in a good spot here. Yeah, that's really, I think I did use my hammer to get that in. Alright, well, you just gotta try to seesaw it back. Yours might not be as stuck, like, you know, as tight as mine. Do I prefer it this tight? Well, I don't know. For taking stuff apart and, you know, when you're trying to put it back together and it doesn't flop right out, I don't really like the loosey-goosey, but I don't like the uber tight. You know, like a moderate, like, you know, just come out just plucking it. You know, I don't have to tap it in, you know, just tap it in. Yeah, I don't like that. There we go. So you just seesaw it back, and you just may need to add a little force like I did. I just tapped it on you know, this cloth right here, aka old work pants, and you know, you just tap it in, and you try to line it up, and then you give a little tap and it should pop in. So let's see if that safety works. Now, you know, you never want to fire, you know, dry fire your gun when it's just the frame, because you don't want it hitting a little back piece right here, because that could, you know, dent it up or crack it or whatever. So, and surprise, surprise, that safety does not work whatsoever. So, really surprised there. All right. So, we go ahead, put the barrel back in. Nice. We're gonna go ahead and get the slide the recoil spring, put the guide rod in like so. Make sure it sits flush like that, and make sure the barrel link is up like this. All right, so what you can do is try to put together like this, like I typically did with the 1911, or you could be smart like I wasn't, and that's when I was a novice at the time. Oh yeah, just like now. Make sure your spring's all the way back, please. It might make it easier to install and might be correct. So again, don't be like me and be a stooge when it comes to this stuff. It's always when I try to make a video. When I just take it apart, I don't even have to think about it. When I'm trying to talk about it, you know, I look like an imbecile. Alright, so what you do, while the slide is cocked back just a tad bit, you know, you leave this flopping out right here, right? Go ahead and put your slide catch through the hole, and go ahead and put your link right here and push it up. So now, and this is just like a 1911, but this is a hell of a lot easier. So you go ahead and press the spring down, install the barrel bushing at the bottom of the bushing where the cap sits in right here. It's gonna be at the 12 o'clock, and you just go rotate it while your thumb or whatever is still on the recoil spring, and you just slide this over like so, and there you go. I like, see, and now I was talking about interchangeability with parts between the Romanian and the Yugo. I like the hammer group on the Romanian because it's, listen to this, smoother. You know, it's very smooth. This one, it's just a little, you know, tighter. It's more crackling, you know. I don't like it. I don't like it as much as, and it's a little stiffer too. Not like the Romanian where that just, you know, comes back real, you know, real quick. And I was trying to put this hammer group inside the Yugo, fit pretty good, had no problems, but the Yugo did not fit right in the Romanian. It would not, the slide went rack back properly, so I don't want to have a failure or anything dangerous happen, so I just flopped them back. But ah, crap, I forgot to see if these barrel bushings are interchangeable. I'll probably do that next time. It's getting really hot out here, and I probably lost like 5 pounds in sweat back, you know, over here. So there we go with the Romanian assembly and disassembly. and a little comparison between its cousin, the Yugo. So 1953, 1960, different times around the same place, different style to a point mechanically, and yeah, different finish. I mean, you know, not bad. So if you got smaller hands, you know, than mine, the Romanian will probably be good for you. You know, this is actually more a better representation of the 1903. You know, with the smaller, you know, pistol grip. You know, this represents that better than this one, because I do believe that the Colt 1903 had a small pistol grip like this, if I remember correctly. If they didn't, then I was wrong. So, but to me, when I was looking at the pictures and when I held one, it kind of felt like this, you know, small pistol grip, you know, and I could comfortably put 2 fingers here and then one right at the bottom. So I don't know how that would be shooting wise. I will give a report on that when I take this one to the range. I'll probably take this one too, just to shoot that. If I don't like shooting that, then I got the my main one to shoot. Alright guys, and there you go. There is the Romanian Tokarev Assembly and Disassembly for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. It helped me in the beginning. There wasn't that many videos when I got the Zastava, you know, the 9mm version. How to take it apart completely. And, you know, so far, I guess it helped so many people. And I hope these do too. And stay frosty, guys.